I thought that I was cool, so I didn't need to be beautiful because I was cool. You know, for me, it was that. And I was like, beautiful is such a insipid word. And I remember Shah Rukh had bought Suhana on set just for an hour. But I remember her from that time.
Yeah.
And I remember her, my God, she was so cute. She was just so cute. So yeah.
Your pandal videos or anything, if you scold somebody, they still feel like, oh, you know, she's scary. Like I said,
It's okay.
Jaya ji ki tarah.
If you believe that I'm scary, please go watch Ma.
Scarier maybe.
Exactly. I'll really frighten you now. डरा के तो रखना ही है सबको.
I want to know how what reactions these videos get at home, because your children are funny. I want to know.
My kids are funny.
What do they tell you when they see a video of you like telling somebody, "जूते निकालो" या कि जया जी की तरह.
See, Mama, you're so natural. See, what you are at home is what you are outside. When I did Fanaa after Nysa was born, and I remember thinking to myself at that time that, you know, it's been a long time. It's been, what, 3.5 years that I have not stood in front of a camera. I wonder if, do I still have it? I think I went a little mad also. I think that Durga and that Kaali had happened. I was busy fighting with everybody to do things in a particular way. You know, everything had to be done my way. There was no other way for me to do it. There was no other acceptable way for it to be done for, you know, because Nysa was small and she was breakable. I'm one of those bull-headed, mule-headed people who's very, very convinced of her own identity and her own opinion and how right it is.
Hello everybody, I'm Rudrani and welcome to Zoom Speak Easy. My guest today has always lived her life by her own rules. In the world that is so worried about perception, she never has been entertaining us for so many years with incredible films. The very beautiful and talented Kajol. Thank you for doing this.
Thank you, Indrani, for such a wonderful intro.
Every word of it is true. I've known you for so many years now. Nothing has changed and you remain exactly who you are. So, इसी पे ना मेरा पहला सवाल है. The world has changed so much from the time that you started. Incredibly, right? But you still remain who you are in this world of perception, like I said, and also secure. Kajol, what does it take to be like this or be who you are?
Madness. Definitely.
Well said.
I'm definitely stubborn and I'm definitely a little nuts. So I think, yeah, I'm one of those bull-headed, mule-headed people who's very, very convinced of her own identity and her own opinion and how right it is.
That.
Ha, bilkul.
I think a little bit of madness is always required.
Absolutely, especially if you're Bengali.
Both two bongs sitting here, we absolutely encourage that. But you know, both of us keep meeting every year, and this year also we will at Durga Pujo. Your connection with spirituality and religion goes far, far back, right?
Yes.
So let's start there. We are doing a movie called Ma, which is actually based on, you know, your beliefs and religion also along with it. I want to understand that, Kajol.
So I'll tell you where it started from, really. I mean, I don't believe that there was a time in my life when I was not a believer. I think there was no time in my life. I remember from the time I could barely walk, standing on the Pujo Pandal, and you know, I remember that so clearly that I couldn't even carry the you know, thala of the bhajas basically, and my cousin would stand over there and hold it for me, and I would stand and I would serve, and I was very proud of myself at like 2.5 and 3, sitting and serving everybody who has come the bhajiyas. Very proud of myself, I want to tell you. So, like I said, I don't remember a time when I was not a believer. Of course, as you grow older, the belief becomes more of a conscious decision. And I have always, throughout my life, felt her hand on my head, her standing behind me, her standing in front of me at times. And in every which way, I have felt supported. And it's just there. She's just there around me, and she's my ma, you know. Like, I remember my mother explaining to me about who God is. And I remember her telling me this, that God is there anywhere. You don't need to sit in a temple to see him and to feel him. Whenever you want to talk to him, he's there, he's listening to you. And God loves you like how I love you. And that's why it's unconditional. It is not, अगर आप दिल से sorry बोलते हो, तो God forgives you then and there. So I've always felt that way, that she loves me like how my mother loves me. And
Beautifully put.
that's my relationship with her. As far as this film is concerned, actually, it came across me. Somebody presented a concept note to me, and it was one of my most favorite stories. I love this story of Kaali Ma and Rakta Beach. It's one of my most favorite stories of Ma. And of course, as usual, the whole world is burning and nobody can do anything about it, and they have to call Ma to save the day. So I loved the story, and it came to me as a concept, and I was like, oh my God, I have to do this film. So they were like, okay, if you like it, then we will convert it to a script and whatever. And it was the fastest turnaround that I have ever seen from concept to shoot. In 6 months, we were ready to shoot with concept, script, approval from everybody, and recce's all done within 6 months. It's really shocking. I mean, if you are in the business, you understand exactly how long it takes to turn around on a script, get everybody's dates put together, get everything put together.
Of course.
So somewhere we felt like, no, we are doing the right thing. We felt like we were being guided on a path, and being pushed in a particular direction that we wanted to go on.
I love this story. It feels the fact that a woman was created to kill a man that nobody could destroy.
Absolutely.
It just shows the strength and the resilience that most women have. You also have shown that sort of resilience in your career, in saying no to a lot of things, in the way you build the initial choices. I mean, आपकी अगर career देखे तो मुझे लगता है बहुत सारी चीज़ें unconventional थी. Tell me at that time, where it was a little different, right? The world that you were part of, but you found that balance between doing such content-driven films, as we like to call them, and the commercial films. But there was always a part of you that stood out, I feel.
Like I said, I'm a little mad. I have a very clear-cut idea of who I am, and I don't believe in, changing it too much. I like who I am. I have always liked who I am. And as far as the balance of content and meat was concerned, I think that I just went in for films that really, really interested me, and ideas that really, really interested me. And fortunately, my mother also was of the same mindset, and she was also very clear that don't do it if you're not feeling it, or don't do it if it's not working for you. So I pretty much kept to that, and I didn't work as much. The truth of the matter is that I didn't work as much as
the others.
Everybody else. I think all of them have done like 150, 200 films. I'm still at like 40 or 50. It's a ridiculously low number for somebody who has worked nearly 34 years. So it's just it is ridiculously low. And I know everybody looks at me like, that's it. But damn, we feel like we've seen so much of you.
But then you left a legacy. That's more important.
Thank you.
But because you said that, I have to ask, right? Where did you find that kind of security, even today? When the world is telling you, I'm sure a lot of people now give you such great scripts. You see one here, you've done so many now. Where do you find that kind of security to say that I will take a break when I want to? I want to be with my children, I'll take that break. I want to come back and do what I want to, and not listen to the world, where the world of paid PR trends. And how have you maintained that?
I don't know whether it was actually conscious choice, really. I think it was always about me looking at it, and I do believe this. I believe in it wholeheartedly, that that we as women will always get work. Work is never an issue. It's truly not. Even if you have to wait a little longer for it to happen for you, or even if you have to create it for yourself, for that matter. I think work is truly not an issue. I don't think there is a single day that we have sat at home and done nothing. there's no woman, I feel, who has done, who sits at home and
Absolutely.
does nothing. There is nothing like that in our lives. We always are doing something or the other. It is, and especially if you have a family and you have kids and you have, you know, you have a battery, you have an entire life. So for me to take that time out and say that it's not that I was doing nothing, it was just that I was doing something else.
Sure.
Other than acting in films. So I remember actually when I came back, you know, when I did Fanaa after Nysa was born, and I remember thinking to myself at that time that, you know, it's been a long time. It's been, what, 3.5 years that I have not stood in front of a camera. I wonder if, do I still have it? I remember thinking that to myself, that will I still be okay in front of the camera? Will I change? Will I be different? And, you know, the day got over and I realized, I was like, no, it's fine. I've been doing this day in and day out with my children, with everybody, and it's okay. It's a part of you that you will never ever get tired of, or you never ever will feel like you're new, you know, ever. At least I won't.
You mentioned Nysa. I sometimes feel the way you look at the world, I think she's imbibed that also, right?
I hope so.
She's like, I hope so.
I really hope so.
But I think so. Of course, the world who doesn't know, Kajol is actually quite a chill mom, and you're very, very friends. You're very close to your daughter and son both, right? But there is that beautiful mother-daughter relationship that you have with your daughter as well. Tell me how that has evolved over the years and today, and when you feel extra protective, and when the Maa Kaali ka roop comes, when someone does to your daughter happens to you as well. You're human, right?
Absolutely. I think that my daughter is, she taught me how to be a parent. She made me a parent. And the first year of her being born, I think, was one of those years that I think I went a little mad also. I think that Durga and that Kaali had happened. I was busy fighting with everybody to do things in a particular way. You know, everything had to be done my way. There was no other way for me to do it. There was no other acceptable way for it to be done for, you know, because Nysa was small and she was breakable, you know, and it's this feeling inside you as a mother that you can't fail at this. This is an exam that you cannot fail at, and you can't even be mediocre or just good. B+ will not do in this. You know, you need a grade A+ for this. So yeah, that was my initial, where we started out from. Of course, she started teaching me the lesson of patience from the time that she was in my stomach, and continued further, you know, as she grew older and older and older, taught me different versions of patience. So we went from mother and daughter to mother and teenage daughter. Then we went to, then after mother and teenage daughter, then we came to mother and, you know, kind of friends. And now I think that we are in a really good space, because I'm still her mom. And yes, I have to sometimes, you know, lay down the law or explain it nicely to her at least. She's smart. She has a lot of common sense, touch wood, wherever the wood is. At least some of the time. Some of the time, yes, that common sense flies out of the window. But yeah, so we have, at least I am able to get through to her, talk to her, and, you know, figure out situations together. And yeah, so I'm very grateful for the fact that I have her in my life. She's wonderful, she's snarky, she has a great sense of humor, and she has a very different perspective of life and the world than from what I see.
I want to know that.
And
really?
I always find it amazing. It always takes me a little aback when I listen to her speaking.
What is that perspective which is so different from yours?
It's very different, because she thinks like today's person. And she thinks about women's rights like they are. She was born into it.
Yeah.
She didn't have to fight for it. You know, she's born into it. It's a part of her life, and she's very much today's person. So it's something that somewhere down the line when I look at it, I look at her, I feel a little, like I almost feel little old-fashioned in certain places, because I feel like, my God, she's the woman that we all want to be.
Wow.
We all aim for. We all do. We
Yeah,
all
yeah,
want to
of
be
course.
that. We
Fierce.
are not.
Fierce.
Yes, and fierce and it's this amazing quality that today's girls have, is that they expect to be treated well. They expect to be treated with the same dignity. They expect good manners, and they expect all of this very unconsciously, not as a conscious effort. And that's who we want to be.
And they call it out. Yeah.
And they call it out.
Yeah.
If you're not
amazing,
if you're not there, they do call it out.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's just something that takes me a little aback and teaches me new things every time.
You know, it's such a nice perspective. It makes sense how she deals with all the craziness that happens when she goes out to party or to meet a friend. I see her quite calm, you know. And I feel like, of course, you know, when I spoke to Ajay, he says he feels very overprotective, and you know, it kind of, he says that it very worries me, the kind of things that they write and stuff. How have you today come to sort of in terms with that? But she, when I see her, you know, look at her expression, she's still smiling through all of the questions that are being asked, or, you know, taking and clicked and the craziness. How do you look at that?
I'm very, very proud of her. I am very, very proud of her, and I have told her this also, and a lot of in a lot of interviews also. I think I'm very, very proud of the fact that she carries herself with so much dignity and grace. I think it's always a test of your character when you're faced with uncomfortable situations, and how you react to them shows you your true mettle. And yeah, so I'm very, very proud of my upbringing and of my daughter.
And you should be proud of yourself too, because you've been through 1,000 more uncomfortable situations. With people today just watching one video and realizing everything and analyzing it. You know, you're always at the end of it, isn't it? The world would still, who don't know you, the ones who know you will obviously think like you're just too much fun. Like I'm testament to that. But we're talking about, you know, your pandal videos or anything. If you scold somebody, they still feel like, oh, you know, she's scary. Like I said,
it's okay.
Jaya ji ki tarah.
If you believe that I'm scary, please go watch Ma.
Scarier, maybe.
Exactly. I'll really frighten you now. डरा के तो रखना ही है सबको.
I want to know what reactions these videos get at home, because you know children are funny. I want to know.
My kids are funny.
What do they tell you when they see a video of you like telling somebody, "जूते निकालो," या कि जया जी की तरह.
See, Mama, you're so natural. See, what you are at home is what you are outside. आप घर में जो हो वो बाहर हो. It's that more than anything else.
I love it.
But I think right now it's all about really the videos also, even the paparazzi for that matter. They're waiting for you to say that. They coax you, they push you, they scream at you till you have to
scream.
You know, not scream back at them, but at least say, "Listen, guys, calm down.
Calm down."
You know, you don't need to yell and scream to get a good picture. Isn't that what it's supposed to be? It hasn't. It is not about that anymore. At least it's not about just clicking a picture or just clicking a video anymore. It's about a reaction that they want because it has a tagline attached to it, or they can attach some sort of a negative tagline to it.
I still remember you posting a video where you're falling in your Instagram, and I laughed, but
it was World Laughter Day.
But that's what I'm saying. No, that is why I think they get their confidence from you. I feel, you know, because you've lived life so like authentically.
Before social media, you mean?
That is
where we didn't have evidence of me falling.
That is true. Which is just only a small part of it, but yeah, absolutely. You know, on that note, you have a song that is about Ma Kaali here,
yes.
Ma Shakti.
That is on my playlist, by the way. It's so good. It is just so good. It's going to be my favorite for a while.
I love that.
It's just going to be my favorite for a while.
Fun anecdote. Do you remember the last time you had a song on Ma Kaali?
Yeah. I do. That was also a very good song.
Yeah, I like how you went, I actually do. It's very like pumps you up and all.
Absolutely.
Should I say it or you should say it?
Of course.
Jai Ma Kaali in Karan Arjun.
Absolutely. It was a wonderful song.
Yeah, it was.
And
you have that connection. Do you see that? You've always been connected.
I keep coming back to her.
Something or the other. The divine energy.
The divine energy. Like I said, I felt Ma's hand on my head and her, kicking me in the butt also once in a while.
Okay, I'm going
बोले बेटा इस तरफ नहीं उस तरफ जाना है.
This is the best thing, right? Okay, I'm going to show you some pictures.
Yeah.
And all you have to do is share a fun anecdote that you remember.
I don't remember most of it, but
I'm going to try and show you also pictures that you already reacted to. Okay,
cool.
I really dug deep.
I can't see that far. Who's this person?
But I'm saying, do you remember Ajay like this? That's what I was trying to show you.
I don't actually. Maybe I met him after this.
Maybe. So then maybe I should show you this. This you will know.
Yes, I do. Wasn't this a Filmfare Award? If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
For DD Ajay?
But
Yes.
you were in this is the party where you were like chilling and something.
After party, yeah. I remember the earrings. I think they're my mother's earrings. That
Oh,
I'm
they
wearing.
were?
My mother's earrings that I'm wearing over there. So, yeah.
So beautiful. They always say sadgi mein hi sundarta hai. This is a example of that. But you also went through your phases of understanding that you're beautiful and then becoming this confident person in such an important journey. Can you help us and tell us how that journey was? Because people might assume that she's always been this confident, but we've all had those moments that we thought we are not beautiful according to the world around us.
Well, according to me, I was cool.
You always were.
I thought that I was cool, so I didn't need to be beautiful because I was cool. You know, for me, it was that. And I was like, beautiful is such a insipid word. It's an insipid word. I don't want to be just beautiful.
Cool.
And yeah, I'd rather be cool. And so it was more important for me to concentrate on that aspect of it. I still do, actually. But it took me that long to understand that I was beautiful, to understand that what I saw in the mirror also was, wow, she's stunning. And it took me a long time to come to that conclusion, to see what other people saw. It took me a very long time to get there.
Does it bother you sometimes when you see how women become so insecure looking at all the comparing in social media, the perfection and all of that?
I read a beautiful line. I have to say this line somewhere. So please, it's not my original line.
Sure,
but,
of course.
It is, so I wish every woman, every naturally beautiful woman was as confident as a moderately attractive man.
I 100% agree with you. I keep saying this, by the way.
Yeah, it is amazing that you have women who are, I mean, you take the women in this room for that matter,
Yeah.
you know, and all of them have something amazing, stunning, unique about them.
But
They
you don't see
don't
that.
need to look like, they don't need to look like everybody else. They don't need to look like us, you know. There is something, God has created you for a reason, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. He
So
gave you
well
the
said.
ability for creation. माँ बनाया है एक वजह से. If he's chosen you to be a woman, then there must be a reason behind it.
Absolutely, and I feel that you've put it very, very well, and I hope that we have that confidence because we don't. We only see flaws when we see ourselves. We only see खामियां.
बिल्कुल.
बहुत ही प्यारी picture है.
Oh, this was my mehendi. Yes, I remember this. Can you see Aryan how
I
small
do.
he is in this? He was such a baby. I remember both Shah Rukh and Suhana. In this, I mean, sorry, I remember Aryan and Suhana. I remember Aryan was this small, but I remember Suhana was, I think, just born on the sets of K3G. So I remember him bringing Suhana on set, or you know, the makeup rooms. We had put up a set on K3G that Yash Johar had built the makeup rooms.
Yeah.
Because he didn't like the makeup rooms that were there in Film City. As usual, Yash Johar has decided to break the rules as a producer and you know, do something completely out of the box.
Correct.
So he had built his own makeup rooms for us that were at a certain level, had the correct lights and was comfortable and air conditioning and everything, you know, put together, proper bathrooms and everything. And I remember Shah Rukh had bought Suhana on set just for an hour. But I remember her from that time.
Yeah.
And I remember her, my God, she was so cute. She was just so cute. So yeah.
So beautiful. And today both of your children are so beautiful and are, you know, so confident. It must be, but today when you all meet, the conversation is so different, isn't it? With
It is.
with
I
Shah
looked
Rukh.
at Suhana the other day. I met her at a party recently, and she was wearing a gold sari, and I was like, you know, for a minute there, it just takes you back. It just takes you back. You're
Because you
like,
seem that small.
yeah, it's just like that little girl and this woman. It takes a little while to correlate the two.
Absolutely. Since we talk about SRK, another fun picture.
Oh yes. This was a still from the film, by the way.
It is.
This is still from the film, so you can't make out. इसमें समझ में नहीं आता है कि how irritated I was at that point of time, and how sweetly he has tried to. He says, just let's finish this song. Just let's finish this song. Come on, we'll do it. खत्म करते हैं man. Whatever. I was like, what is this nonsense? What are we doing? We're shooting in a stable with the horses next to us. And they were stinking, I want to tell you. Stinking. And
the steps.
It was so hot. It was stinking, and the steps, and I had an issue with everything that day.
But you managed to do it. I feel like whatever you did, there was so much grace though. That we'll have to give it to both of you.
Thank you
Imagine
so much.
recreating that today. I don't think anybody can do that. Kajol. This is such a, among the things I find this picture very cute, I'll have to.
Oh,
Our OG.
This is, yes, of course, this was Kuch Kuch Hota Hai. And I think we shot this at night in Mauritius, if I'm not mistaken. And it was one of those, एक scene खत्म करना है, जल्दी से. It's going to be a one-shot scene. Karan is desperately trying to sell it to us that जल्दी से shooting कर लो, night shooting and this, that and the other. And it was one of those scenes that was written in a particular way, and it turned out just so much nicer. Yeah, so you know, sometimes
This is a
film
tutta wala.
also, yeah, but sometimes film also surprises you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course.
Oh, yes.
This film.
I love this film, yes.
And also you in the
So,
film also, I think.
Thank you. I love the film. I thought it was one of those really, really cool films. You know, like, not to say that Karan has not made cool films before, he has. But I think that was a really sensitive and cool film that he made, from where the characters are concerned to where the story progresses to even the relationships for that matter. It was really, really progressive.
For this emotional scene like this, does it take a lot out of you when you're doing a film like this, Kajol?
Yes, it takes a lot out of you. I think emotional scenes always, they, you know, drain you completely. And I have always felt that way. I feel like that it just kind of exhausts you much more than, you know, anything else can. No workout can exhaust you that much as an emotional scene can.
All right, the OG.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, this is You, Me or Hum on the cruise.
Very, very, very cute, because when you put this up, you've written, and you, sir, you're very attractive, therefore I shall stare at you. I love it. Being romantic and in love since eons now, and you continue to. Explain to me how that relationship has evolved today, and of course, he's involved in this as well.
Yeah, I didn't hold a gun to his head, by the way. And he didn't hold one to mine as well. So, but it has evolved as it should. We are definitely not the same people that we were 26 years back. And we are very, very different people today. But I think we've grown up well. Both of us have. And we're both in a nice, mature place. Yeah. So I think I like where we are.
Absolutely. I'll end it by, of course, asking this, you know, about how today when you're on sets with, because I heard that he's also been involved with the climax and all of that.
Yeah,
right?
we have some VFX shooting to do in the end of the climax, yeah.
So I want to know how you see him today on the sets. You've done a few films with Ajay and how
I have, and he gets, I think, a little more obsessed every time I see him on sets. You know, you have to like calm him down and say that, dude, just like calm down. This obsession is all well and good, but like just calm down a little bit. He gets like completely taken in, completely. मतलब अगर मुझे सोचना होता ना कि मेरी सौतन होती कोई, तो वो होती है.
ऐसे hyper.
obsessed with movie making, you know, product, a good product. His whole thing is that, you know, it should be a good product. And whatever we release, you know, whatever we release, if my name is attached to it, it has to have that level, it has to have that quality of filmmaking, most especially. And of course, he loves VFX. So, I mean, that's where NY started and whatever. So he's had a blast in Ma, I want to tell you.
I'm glad. I'm sure it'll show on screen as well. But like I said, I think that the bond that you have is the reason why the relationship and the marriage has lasted this long, right? Because
Absolutely.
of the strong friendship. I feel like others are very romantic and all, both of you. And a lot of internet can misconstrue that, right? Because you're a very cut and dry humor, very like best friends, like literally Rahul and Julie vibes. You know what I'm trying to say? And you all take fun. But I think that is the real relationships. You can't be romantic all the time. Am I correct?
Absolutely. I think I think after living for so long together, it is not about it can't be about the roses on Valentine's Day, or you know, whether you do this or you don't do that.
Yeah.
It is it's just your family. You know, you are a family. You have a life built in and around you that has so much more than just you know, one
Perception.
tag attached to
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. I'm sure माँ का आशीर्वाद तो होगा आपके
बिल्कुल,
साथ.
बिल्कुल.
And it's wonderful to see you do this, because I'm so excited to see you do a mythological horror thriller. It's going to be so much fun.
Thank
All
you
the best,
so
Kajol.
much. Thank you.
It's always so lovely chatting with you.
My pleasure.
Thank you.
Likewise.